What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I was having Wi-Fi issues, but I'm here now. No, I do not have Boost Mobile Wi-Fi. Like the video as the intro plays, because we got a lot to get into. We got a whole lot to get into.
I was listening to Make It Make Sense. Shout out to Make It Make Sense. Thank you.
Make it make sense to me intellectually.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Big moves.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you see. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you see. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
No, this is the party.
Oh, why? I just come back when everybody get hit. No, stay. No, it's cool. I just come back later when everybody get hit. I said stay! Oh, Diddy, all right, I'm here.
Party with me, Daddy.
I'll be the first one here, okay. Where everybody at?
It's just me and you in here today. Yeah. Now come dance for Brother Love.
I mean, ain't no music playing right now.
I said dance for Brother Love! Take that.
Okay, I'm sorry. What's up? Welcome to your first live. Okay, y'all. So y'all know I've been digging. We're going to get into the whole police situation because that was an old lawsuit that I found that Diddy had to settle. But we got to talk about DeLeon. And well, first off, shout out to Cassie for making her first real public appearance. She looks beautiful as always. Shout out to her. She got 50 million reasons to, be in a better, happy place. She's now protected. If anything happens to her, we know who did it. She has a few kids, a loving husband. Shout out to Cassie. But okay, let's get into Diddy. I want to start off with the DeLeon stuff because I thought this was the most interesting. It said Diddy no longer associated with DeLeon or Ciroc after he dropped discrimination lawsuit against the liquor maker Diageo and agreed to cut ties with the brand completely. So I told you guys, Diddy used to be able to leverage his name where everybody's like, oh, people have money. People do not have liquid money. People's net worth is built around the businesses that they own, real estate, future projected earnings based on your ownership of a company, right? Y'all, he is no longer affiliated with this. And technically, I told you guys that he had only paid $1. I think it was like $1 investment because he was leveraging his name. Similarly to what Trump did for a lot of his businesses, like the Trump Towers, he was able to license his name out. That's what he did to DeLeon. And to be honest with you, I don't think that Ciroc as a brand by itself or DeLeon would have done as well if it weren't for Diddy's party persona. So it made sense to partner with this man, no matter how old he is, no matter what he's looking like. Diddy was synonymous with parties. He branded himself that years ago, way back when he was doing the white parties in the Hamptons, right? So once I saw this, because I had already read the initial lawsuit, and I mean, I'm not a legal mind, but to me, it sounded like Diddy did have some basis to sue the brand. He felt like there was discriminatory practices, the way that they marketed his brand as compared to the way that they marketed other brands. It sounded like he had a court case. Before I show you that, though, I want you guys to really think of it like this. What happened to Kanye when Kanye had no more affiliation with Adidas? Kanye was telling people he was worth $7 billion and he was the richest black man in the world. We found out that the Adidas deal was actually worth $1.5 billion in addition to how much they had earned and future projected earnings for Kanye, which put him on the list. The difference is the Leon sealed these cases. So there's like, I was going through line by line. They did not want anybody to actually know. How do I say this? They felt like if people knew how much the brand was worth, it could give their competitors an edge. So they sealed it. But y'all, Diddy's billionaire status was highly contingent upon this partnership. That is no more. So y'all do the math there. You guys do the math there. It's cold. Oh yeah, y'all. We got like over 1,200 in the chat. Definitely hit the like button. It's cold. It's cold, y'all. It's cold. He's not gonna announce this, but I can almost guarantee he's not gonna announce this. There's no benefit for him to announce it, but we could talk about it. Diddy being a billionaire was basically his only claim to fame left. Yeah, what's up, Rodney? I see you in here. Oh, happy 39th birthday, Norris. Norris is one of the day ones. Happy birthday, bro. There's so much to get into about Diddy and this money. Could he just, people have said that the insurance paid Cassie and all that. Diddy is not a billionaire because Diddy has $1 billion in the bank. And Diddy's lifestyle is contingent upon him still being able to license his name. In the court of public opinion, Diddy is guilty. Y'all can put in the chat, replay gang. Are you guys still drinking Ciroc or De Leon? Just saying. Diddy. I'm not. My uncle bought me some De Leon one time, and it really wasn't bad. It wasn't like anything that I probably would have bought for myself, but I didn't get a hangover. I will never drink it again. Now, maybe since the brand has effectively removed Diddy, but let me show y'all this. Because I was like cracking up as I was going through all of these documents. I want to first show you this real quick to let you know that Diddy had what I think to be a pretty good case. It said, this is a transparent case of unlawful retaliation by a powerful international corporation against a business partner for exercising its legal rights and raising concerns about racial discrimination and unequal treatment. Sean Diddy Combs is the owner of Combs Wine and has a long-standing business relationship with I'm hoping it's Diageo for two spirit brands, Ciroc and De Leon. Combs Wines filed a complaint for injunctive relief in this court alleging a pattern of racial discrimination by Diageo and asking only that Diageo treat Combs Wines equally to Diageo's white business partners. So, I mean, I went through it. There was all this documentation, but I want you guys to see this. This was the lawsuit, right? There were so many exhibits. And a lot of these requests to seal are because they don't want numbers out. Right? But if you get down to the bottom, is that a pun? Because I'm talking about Diddy down to the bottom. I didn't mean to make it. I didn't mean. My bad. We're getting down to the bottom with Diddy. Take that. If you see here, what do you see around 12-1, 12-1? 11-17. Diageo started using Cassie, Joy Dickerson Neal, and at the time, one of the Jane Does in the exhibits. Y'all, they basically said, and I'm going to show you guys. I was like, there's a reason why this stuff was gone so quickly. I want you guys to be able to see this. We write on behalf of defendant Diageo North America, Inc. to bring to the court's attention additional and deeply troubling developments since we filed our opposition to Plaintiff Combs Wine and Spirits LLC's application for an order to show cause for a preliminary injunction on November 15th. In our letter to the court concerning the lawsuit brought by Cassandra Ventura, alleging that Sean Combs drugged, SA'd, and physically abused her and R-worded her over the course of several years. Since our November letter, 2 more women have filed lawsuits against Mr. Combs, each describing instances of the R-word and misconduct alarmingly similar to the allegations contained in Ms. Ventura's lawsuit. Y'all, they came back and said, no. You are licensing basically your name to us. Your name ain't shit because of what you did to these women. Each time a new lawsuit was filed, they put that in the court documents. So all the times that we saw Diddy looking bad and out of it and out of shape and sweaty and nasty and looking 20 years older than he actually is, it was because of these kind of things. He thought that he had this he felt like he had a discrimination lawsuit geared up, ready, and this was going to be a win for him. And you know what? Cassie stuck it to him. It started with Cassie, and he got an extra pump each time a new person filed the lawsuit. I was like, let's continue. On November 23rd, 2023, Joy Dickerson Neal sued Mr. Combs in the Supreme Court of New York County, alleging that Mr. Combs D-worded her, rendering her unable to stand, and assaulted her. Ms. Dickerson Neal further alleges that Mr. Combs recorded the assault and showed the video to many people. The same day, Lisa Gardner sued Mr. Combs in New York County, alleging that Mr. Combs R-worded her and her friend. Ms. Gardner also alleges that Mr. Combs, came to Ms. Gardner's residence a few days after R-wording her and choked her while trying to locate Ms. Gardner's friend. These 2 additional lawsuits drew even more negative media attention towards Mr. Combs. Y'all know Puffy and his people were reading this is doing this. Every lawsuit that got filed against him acted against him in this lawsuit. I'm looking at Puffy's attorneys like, oh.
You having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
These new lawsuits stand to cause potentially devastating damage to DeLeon. As Your Honor is aware, one of CW's demands in its request for a preliminary injunction is that Diageo provide CWS with funds to support a new advertising campaign for DeLeon Tequila featuring Mr. Combs. How are they going to give up more money for a man who he's like DOA in the water? No brand is going to want to associate with this man. They were probably typing this laughing. In its opposition to CW's request, Diageo explained why Mr. Combs' previous conduct made him unfit to be the face of the brand. The disturbing allegations against Mr. Combs set forth in these lawsuits underscored that any DeLeon campaign featuring Mr. Combs would compound and amplify the harm that he has already caused DeLeon. Requiring Diageo to pay for such a campaign would be devastating to the brand and to Diageo more broadly. Mr. Combs is well aware that these lawsuits make it impossible for him to continue to be the face of anything. They said, Puffy,
I am sick of your shit. And when I'm not sick, I'm tired. I am sick and tired.
Which is perhaps why CWS declined last week to support its own argument, electing not to file a reply brief in support of requesting for a preliminary injunction after Ms. Ventura's allegations broke. Mr. Combs has already stepped down as chairman of Revolt, the television network that he co-founded in 2013, implicitly conceding that his reputation and ability to act as a spokesperson has been irreversibly damaged by the allegations against him. Agenda Studios canceled a DeLeon-themed day party in Atlanta, citing the serious allegations against DeLeon. Now, I told you guys about that day party. And I told you guys, if you remember way back when, I likened them canceling that party to this lawsuit. You can go back and look. We talked about it. I knew it was coming down the pike. Tequila owner Sean Puff Combs, which compelled them to take immediate action and cancel the event in the best interest of their community. And Capital Prep Harlem, a charter school that Mr. Combs opened in 2016, decided to end its partnership with Mr. Combs. It would be unfair and beyond reason to require Diageo to deepen its association with Mr. Combs concerning DeLeon when so many others are fleeing his now toxic image. His toxic image, y'all. It's too hot now. I was reading this and I was cracking up. CWS cannot reasonably argue otherwise. We remain available to answer any questions or provide any additional information that your honor may require. Basically, match set. Like they said, Diddy done effed up. Exactly, dear. Diddy done effed up. Oh, okay. Let's move to the next one. It's a lot, y'all. It's a whole lot. Let's move to the court case where he is now trying to okay. So basically, you guys have seen this. Diddy demands woman suing him over alleged assault be forced to reveal her identity in court despite wanting to proceed as Jane Doe. We have all seen this. We got over 2,000 in the chat, guys. Definitely hit that like button. It is a free way to support the channel. And if you're new to the channel, your boy goes deep. That is also not a Diddy pun. Yeah, we got 2,000 watching. We don't even have 500 likes. Definitely hit that like button. So you guys saw this. Well, there's a little bit more to the story. So I told you guys, I think I actually found the woman, but I issued a warning. When the Diddy stories were really hot, I said, if anybody else locates this lady like I did, make sure that you do not put anything out. She deserves to have her privacy in this matter. Diddy, on the other hand, does not. Oh, is this your first live? Welcome. Magnificent Van Life. Live is always pretty ridiculous. It's always pretty ridiculous. And if Natalie is watching this, Natalie is on her way to California, and she says she's listening to us. We're good for the ride. So shout out to Natalie. Okay. He wants, and I was talking to Simone right before this, who's an attorney. Basically, what Diddy wants is he wants this woman's information out. And Simone used the example of OnlyFans. So imagine if this woman is an OnlyFans person. He can use that to disparage her public image the same way his public image is disparaged. And if you don't know who we're talking about, the Jane Doe case was a woman who alleged that she was underage. She got on a jet with Harvey Pierre and a man that she refuses to name so far, went to a recording studio where Diddy assaulted her, Harvey Pierre assaulted her. Basically, they all ran a train on her. And she was underage, like still in high school underage. So he is basically he's trying to say, I need to file this a certain way. Technically, when she did her lawsuit, she did not file everything that she needed to file to keep that lawsuit sealed, or her name sealed, I should say, because the lawsuit's not sealed as of yet. So Diddy and them filed something, and Simone said it's customary for an attorney to file something to force them to file everything that they needed correctly. The thing about Diddy wanting her name out there is because there is probably something in her past. Whereas maybe she's a celebrity, maybe she was a video model, maybe she has some like a criminal record that makes her famous. But basically, he is wanting her out there because it would give him some slack, basically, y'all. And Diddy, to me, seems like he's running scared. I feel like this man is running scared. Before all this hit, you were with a city girl. You had an album where technically, y'all, I don't want to be mean to Diddy's son, but nobody asked for this performance. Diddy arranged for MTV to give him this award. Do you know how many people who are more deserving than Diddy? Diddy is technically or was a great producer in the 90s, but nobody was asking for a performance with Diddy and his son. Technically, the songs the son was performing were Mace's songs. So if we were going to do that, then we would need to have Mace there, not his son, King Combs. And I'm not trying to hate on his son. I'm just saying we got to be real. Like Gabor was saying, we got to call a thing a thing. You knew that this lawsuit was coming out. So what do? You want to make sure that, because I think he's a narcissist, you want to make sure that before you go out with a bang. You want to make people think that MTV and all of these people really want you around and they want to give you props and praise. I could think of 50 people who were actual artists, because I think Diddy's talent lies in production. I don't feel like Diddy is the talent. And he basically, since my favorite was gone, y'all know my favorite is Biggie, right? Ever since Biggie was gone, Puffy tried to ease into that place. But technically, Puffy, I wouldn't even consider him to be marginally talented on the mic. I feel like Puffy is like DJ Khaled, except DJ Khaled knows he's not talent. He knows he's production. Puffy wants to be in the forefront. Puffy used to make his artist have him do ad-libs and things in the back just so he could get credit on songs. If you look at this list, Puffy spent a lot of money to make sure that he had every person he could on this new Brother Love album. The Weeknd, Justin Bieber, Mary J. Blige, Jasmine Sullivan, Her, Summer Walker, Babyface, John Legend, Tiana Taylor, French Montana, Coco Jones, Fabulous, Busta Rhymes, Dawn Richardson, Ty Dolla $ign, Kalina. I like Kalina. A lot of people don't like her. I like Kalina. Jacquees, Kalani, 21 Savage, Sway Lee, Jeremiah, Jazzy, Nova Way, Nyjah. Y'all, he put everybody that he could. He paid out the ass to make sure that he could get a Grammy nod. And it actually worked. But again, it's not for him. It's for everybody else that was included on that album. Do you know what I mean? When you have Prince, who gets an award for an Icon Award, you know who's on the stage? Prince. If Beyonce gets an Icon Award, Beyonce's on the stage. Rihanna's on the stage. Michael Jackson is on the stage. Puffy is basically a feature in his own stuff. Goddess Noel, thanks for the super chat. Goddess Noel said, I thought the underage lady said the other man that essayed her was Aaron Hall, or am I mixing up cases and participants? Yes, no, she did not list. This underage lady did not list who was who the third person is. She didn't name them. The Aaron Hall case, Diddy's not included in the Aaron Hall case. If that kind of like clears it up. Thanks for the super chat. I didn't know he had a new album. This was going to be his chance to actually get a Grammy as talent. And now that's out the door. I'm telling you guys, I feel like he arranged this kind of stuff because earlier this year, everything was brother love, brother love, brother love. I was like, why would the VMAs really be having him and his son perform Diddy and Mace track? It didn't make sense unless he knew that the gig was up, or the jig was up. So he wanted to make his impact before this happened, because now you have a situation where everybody's looking at everything that you do. All of your friends are now being looked at. Just for having an association with you, people's careers are getting destroyed. It's on you, Puffy. It's definitely on you. But let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. Where is it? We don't need to see that. I think I want to get to this lawsuit that I found. Now, y'all, this was a lawsuit that was over crazily. It was over some Grammys, but I'll let you guys hear it. Let me just find it really quick. I had it up. Let me pull it up again real quick. When I read this lawsuit, I was like, this is some scary-ish. Okay, so this lawsuit was in the 2000s, but wait, where is it? Okay, here we go. To me, it shows that he has been in cahoots with the police department, and this was so scary for this person. So basically, Damien was an employee of Bad Boy. He just drove vans, y'all. He was nobody that, was talent or anything like that. Let me skip to the parts that I thought were pretty bad. At the end of 2003, plaintiff rediscovered the box that he had stored in his parents' garage after his motor vehicle accident. He looked at all the contact sheets for the first time and discovered that they contained some of Combs' personal information. Plaintiff contacted Combs directly by wireless email to arrange for their return. Combs responded asking for plaintiff's contact phone number. Plaintiff emailed him. So basically, the boy had an accident while he was carrying some stuff for Puffy. They took everything from his car and put it in his parents' garage. When he went through it, he saw that he had some contact sheets for Puffy. So he emailed Puffy, which would be the CEO of the company, and said, hey, I have some stuff for you. To me, I'm not hearing anything too bad. He returned it. Nobody even knew where the stuff was. So to me, that shows that he actually does care about his job. But okay, many Bad Boy employees at all different levels of the company had Combs' contact phone number and email address. 3 days after the email to Combs, plaintiff was contacted by Bad Boy's head of human resources, who asked him to come see her. After arriving, she brought plaintiff to a room where one of Combs' bodyguards was present in uniform, black knit cap, leather jacket, and sunglasses. Plaintiff handed the sheets to Dunlap. Why would the security guards need to be in there if Diddy wasn't trying to intimidate this young man? Chantel Pratt, thanks for the super chat. Oh, Chantanelle Pratt. I'm still stuck on his frontal. That is not his hair, and he's just playing in everybody's face. Who, Diddy? Or are you talking about well, not him, he's bald. You talking about Diddy? You think Diddy wears a frontal? I don't know. Thanks, Chantanelle. Crystal Cove says, I've heard the Jane Doe filing makes Cassie's filing look like a day at a church picnic. It's supposed to be really, really brutal, so putting her name out might be badly. Well, Crystal Cove, I actually read it. So it's on my channel. If you want to hear it read out loud, I did. And it was really bad. But I wouldn't compare the two. I think both Cassie and hers were really horrible, both in their own right. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. We got almost 3,000 in the chat. Definitely hit the like button, guys. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Okay, so he's intimidating. Plaintiff handed the sheets to Dunlap without having been asked to do so, and she began to question plaintiff about how he acquired them. The 20-minute interview ended without conclusion, but Dunlap never accused plaintiff of taking the contact sheets without permission or stealing them. That sounds like just a human resources thing. Why would you need to have Puffy's personal security guard in there? Bad Boy never paid plaintiff his wages while he was a Bad Boy employee, despite repeated promises by executives and managers that he would be paid. So somebody else who was working for free. You can have bodyguards intimidating people, but you can't pay them. Plaintiff finally decided not to return to work after 2003 Christmas holiday. In late 2004, plaintiff heard from Bad Boy sources that Combs was missing one of 2 Grammy Awards that he had won the same year and was spending a good deal of money on investigators trying to find it. Wanting to help Combs, plaintiff sent him a wireless email relating a conversation that he had with a coworker several years earlier, during which the coworker had confided that he had access to the Grammy. Plaintiff did not initially reveal the coworker's name. Combs returned the email stating that he was not good at riddles and asked for the coworker's name, which plaintiff promptly supplied by return email. So basically, he's not working there anymore. Puffy has not paid him, but he sends him an email saying, hey, I heard somebody say that, they had access to your stuff. Instead of saying thank you, Puffy got smart with them. Plaintiff never asked for anything in return. Now, I would ask for my money. Like, where's my wages? But this guy, he's young. Plaintiff was never informed at any time by any Bad Boy employee or Combs himself that any of his communications had caused Combs to feel annoyed or harassed. Indeed, Combs' wireless email responses to plaintiff emails were to the contrary. On January 29th, a person called plaintiff twice at his home, first leaving a message identifying herself only as a friend of the plaintiff named Frazier. So basically, she said, I'm a friend of Puffy. At the second call, the plaintiff identified herself to the plaintiff's mother as a friend of Puffy's. Notwithstanding, he had no friend named Frazier. Plaintiff took a friend of his. So she left a message saying I was a friend of the person, then told the mom I'm a friend. And then the guy's like, I don't have any friends named Frazier. Frazier invited plaintiff to come down the next day to 357 West 31st Street in Manhattan for an interview. Plaintiff told Frazier that he was sick and a diabetic. And because of his diabetes, remember that, guys, diabetic, any illness caused his body to shut down. Because he was unemployed, plaintiff believed that he had been called for a job interview. Now, this is before they had like Google, where you could just say, what is this address? The next day, plaintiff drove to 357 West 31st Street with a friend. Arriving at the address at about 2:30, plaintiff discovered to his surprise that it was Midtown South Precinct in Manhattan. Not having anything to be concerned about, he went inside and asked for Frazier as he had been instructed. His friend remained outside in the vehicle. After appearing at the precinct front desk, plaintiff was directed upstairs. Passing through double swinging doors, a woman motioned plaintiff over to her desk. The first thing Frazier asked plaintiff was, are you surprised I'm a woman? Then she said, I want to speak with you. So maybe plaintiff was kind of giving a Robin Dixon vibe. Maybe her voice was a little deep and she liked to wear, shirts with ties. I don't know. Then she said, I want to speak with you for a couple minutes. I know that you're still sick and have to catch a 3:00 train, so I want to get you out of here. So she knew he was sick. Plaintiff again told Frazier that he was ill and diabetic. Frazier asked him if he takes a needle, and he told her yes. An 8.5:11 picture of Combs was on the office wall, not far from Frazier's desk. For a minute or two, Frazier began to falsely accuse plaintiff of making crank calls to a coworker. She then moved off that topic to question plaintiff about the contact sheets. After a few minutes, Frazier asked plaintiff to wait in the hall and asked for his driver's license. Plaintiff asked Frazier if he needed a lawyer, and Frazier lied, telling him that he did not need one because she would only be a few more minutes. So he's asking can I see a lawyer? And she's saying no. Y'all. Frazier brought plaintiff out of the hallway into a fax room where she asked if she received a cell phone call in two ways. Frazier brought plaintiff out of the hallway and into a fax room where she asked for and received plaintiff's cell phone and two-way. Several days later, Frazier filled out a property clerk's invoice in which she falsely listed the two items as arrest evidence. Mind you, he's not been arrested. Frazier then again questioned plaintiff about Combs' personal information on the contact sheets. Plaintiff told her how he was given the contact sheets, what happened with them, and that as soon as he realized what was on them, he contacted Combs to arrange their return. Throughout her interrogation of plaintiff, Frazier repeatedly called Bad Boy, asking for guidance and advice based on y'all. So this person who has taken your property, basically detained you, not allowed you to get an attorney, is now on the phone with Puffy and Bad Boy asking, what do you want me to do? Getting guidance from Bad Boy. Does that sound customary for the police to do? Yo. Throughout her interrogation, Frazier repeatedly called Bad Boy, blah, blah, blah. Frazier next brought plaintiff to a small room with a desk and began to interrogate him about the Grammy. Frazier asked plaintiff whether he had ever been to Rikers Island and told him that the inmates there were going to just love him and what exactly they were going to do to him. So basically, she described a Puffy party as Rikers Island. I'll repeat that. Frazier asked plaintiff whether he had ever been to Rikers Island and told him that the inmates there were going to just love him and what exactly they were going to do to him. Frazier demanded that plaintiff confess and tell her where he had hidden the Grammy so they could go and pick it up. It became apparent that the prior questioning was a transparent pretext for a real reason why Frazier had asked the plaintiff to 357 West 31st Street. After Frazier's attempts to coerce plaintiff into confessing a crime that he did not commit failed, Frazier imprisoned plaintiff in a holding cell. So you can detain somebody, but you can't just put them in a cell, y'all. You can't put somebody under arrest. You can detain, you can't arrest. Frazier never told plaintiff that he was under arrest and never read him his Miranda warning. Plaintiff told Frazier that he needed food because of his diabetes, but Frazier told him to drink the Snapple he had brought with him, knowing that this was completely inadequate to give plaintiff the nourishment that he needed. Plaintiff's mother was alerted by one of plaintiff's friends that something was amiss, so she called the precinct. She was directed to Frazier. His mother asked what the problem was and was told by Frazier that if plaintiff was cooperative, he would be released in a few hours. She expressed concern that her son was being held in the precinct without a lawyer, but Frazier repeated the lie that she had told plaintiff that he would not need a lawyer because he would soon be out. Plaintiff's mother also reiterated that her son was on an insulin-dependent diabetic and stress would cause his blood level to drop rapidly. Plaintiff fell asleep in the cell because he was ill and weak from the lack of food. When plaintiff was awakened by Frazier, he was shaking. Frazier nonetheless brought him into another room where he was interrogated by Frazier and NYC detectives. Having again failed to extract a false confession, Frazier again imprisoned police into the holding cell where he quickly passed out. Y'all, you didn't read him his rights. You didn't allow him an attorney. You have now arrested him, all for Diddy. When plaintiff came to, he was on a ventilator in an EMS ambulance and handcuffed to a stretcher like he's a prisoner. Plaintiff was admitted to the ER at St. Vincent's Midtown Hospital. After the medical staff called plaintiff's mother to inquire about his insulin dosage, he was given intravenous insulin and otherwise treated. Plaintiff remained at the hospital for approximately 2 hours, still handcuffed to the stretcher, even though he was not under arrest. After he was released from the ER, 2 police officers brought him back to the precinct in an unmarked car with his hands handcuffed. He was again interrogated about the Grammy and repeatedly threatened with arrest and Rikers Island. After the interrogation failed to extract the false confession, plaintiff was again imprisoned in the office holding cell. Are y'all seeing, like, do you know, how do you have this kind of power? You're missing a Grammy, not a lung. Like, this is, I'm telling you guys, this is scary. All jokes aside, this is some scary-ish. Showing that her statement to the plaintiff and his, okay, hold on. Plaintiff's mother spoke to Frazier again at the precinct at about 10 p.m. Frazier told her that they were still holding her son because they had to look into leads, but that he would be getting out in a few hours. Again, a few hours. Showing that her statement to the plaintiff and his mother were manipulative lies, Frazier took plaintiff downstairs to be fingerprinted and photographed, never telling the plaintiff that he was under arrest. Frazier brought plaintiff back upstairs at around 8 a.m. Frazier left the precinct with plaintiff and brought him to Bellevue Medical Center to give him more insulin. Plaintiff's mother had been told that he had been brought to Bellevue. When she arrived, she saw her son handcuffed to a stretcher. She heard Frazier tell her son that she would not tell the medical officer the next destination, that he had any physical ailments, as this would only lengthen the arraignment process. Even though Frazier understood that such instruction would knowingly or recklessly endanger the plaintiff's health. Y'all. Frazier again advised plaintiff not to tell the medical officer that he had asthma or diabetes, and as an inducement, she would return plaintiff's cell phone in two-way the following Tuesday. This was yet another lie because Frazier never intended to and never did return the cell phone in two-way. Frazier did not want the arraignment process inconvenience her day off, because if plaintiff told the medical officer of his condition, Frazier would have been compelled to wait with plaintiff at the hospital. You caused this. This boy is passing out. You caused this, but you don't want to put this in the report because you don't want your day off to be messed up. Somebody said bail is for crazy folks. Is that true? We're talking, who is this? We're talking about one of Puffy's employees who Puffy got the cops to basically hem up. And even though the boy had diabetes, they arrested him without Mirandizing him, without an attorney, all this while getting instructions from Puffy about like what to do. This is crazy, y'all. Plaintiff was arraigned at about 2:30 a.m. on Sunday, February 1st, and released without having to post bail. Plaintiff was charged by Frazier with aggravated harassment in the 2nd degree, petty larceny, and criminal possession of stolen property in the 5th degree, all Class A misdemeanors, even though there was no probable cause to support such charges. None of these charges had anything to do with the missing Grammy. In concert with Combs and Bad Boys employees, Frazier also had 2 restraining orders entered against plaintiff as to Combs, even though there was no support for such orders. All charges against plaintiff were dismissed. Y'all, he didn't have the Grammys. He did not have this man's Grammys. This man is passing out in a jail cell because Puffy told this police officer to hem this boy up. That's why the boy sued. And that's why I said proof. Basically, the boy was able to sue Puffy and the police and got his settlement. Somebody said, Mims, Diddy has done way worse than this with his Boy Blue Gang, aka NYPD. This was the first time that I saw anything where it was alleged that the police and Puffy were in cahoots. This was the first time I saw it on paper. So you can hit me up on Make It Make Sense Now. You can hit me up on Make It Make Sense Now. And, you know, that's on Instagram. And let me know what you have. There's a whole nother one, but there's another lawsuit that I found, but we're coming up on an hour. That lawsuit was where Diddy basically took this man's money, took this man's product and made a CD out of it, and then went to the press and basically, I'll let you guys hear that on another Diddy video. But to me, this one was scary. All jokes aside, this one was scary. I'm happy that, you know, Cassie's been able to walk away. Hold on, we got some super chats. Hey, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Staffers, the one and only. Shout out to Mims in chat. I love y'all. Oh, we are kind of like a dysfunctional, messy family around here. Thank you, staffers. And KP, thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate you. And Simone, thank you for the legal advice. Or not legal advice, I shouldn't say that. Thank you for the legal mindset, we'll say. This is scary. This is definitely scary. Somebody said, did he take the bussy? No, he wasn't after that with this. he really just, you're wealthy, you have clout, you have power, you can have somebody just put in jail at your discretion. Yeah, I think we'll review the other case. Next time I do a Diddy story, I'll review that other case where he allegedly stole that man's money for that Biggie album that sold, what, 5 million records? Anyway, well, hey, welcome. I'm new to. Okay, y'all. So like the video, subscribe, and I'm gonna let you guys see this intro because I think y'all liked this intro, especially with the Diddy skit at the end of it. So that's how we'll end.
I was listening to Make It Make Sense. Shout out to Make It Make Sense. Thank you.
It makes sense to me intellectually.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
Big moves.
Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
No, this is the party.
Oh, why? I just come back when everybody get hit. Nah, stay. Nah, it's cool. I just come back later when everybody get hit. I said stay! Oh, Diddy, all right, I'm here.
Party with me, Daddy.
I'll be the first one here, okay. Where everybody at?
It's just me and you in here today. Yeah. Now come dance for Brother Love.
I mean, ain't no music playing right now.
I said dance for Brother Love! Take that.
Somebody said, am I going to get into the Dwight Howard case? I'm going to look up Dwight Howard's case tomorrow and see exactly what they're talking about with the new filings and see if I can get these text messages for you guys, because Dwight is alleging that the guy was okay with what's her name? Miss Kitty. He was okay with, with Miss Kitty via text message. I would love to interview that guy. I would love also, maybe we'll be able to get an interview with one of Eddie Long's accusers. If you guys want that interview, you could tell me in the chat or in the replay if you would like me to interview one of the young men who accused Eddie Long of, the abuse. Either way, I got to go. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'll see you guys tomorrow.